Salutations everybody, it is Maddie here today teaching you about the best game you have never played. I know 1,000,001 YouTubers have done these types of videos and 90% of the time you'll watch them and go, I knew everything about what they just told me, that was just a clickbait title. Based off my knowledge of my audience and based off the game I'm going to be talking about today, I can almost confidently say that most of you have not heard of this game today. I should also mention that this game may not be up your alley at the end of the day, but still it is a fantastic game that I just wanted to spread some love for and show you guys today. So without further ado, let's roll into the best game you have never played. The video game series I will be introducing to you guys today is Danganronpa, and this video is being created for those who are looking to broaden their horizons in video games, trying something brand new and entirely fresh to them, because there is no game out there that is like Danganronpa. It is a mixture of a lot of different elements from other games that a lot of you have played in the past, and something that I think anyone can find appreciation for. This is a video for those who love video games and are looking to try something new. If that's not up your alley, then by all means you can go ahead, type your weeb comment, click X, and leave my video. So what is Danganronpa? It's such a hard game to explain because you could say, oh, it's a graphic novel, because you're usually flipping through a lot of text on a video game system. You're also solving murder mysteries. What happens in Danganronpa is you get trapped in a school with all the ultimates, and every ultimate is super good at something that is special and unique to the world, and Hope's Peak Academy is this place created to hone those skills in order to help further the future once they leave Hope's Peak. What happens is they get trapped at the school and Monokuma is forcing them to kill each other in order to escape, and some people will succumb to this, some people will not. And what happens is once someone gets killed, all the classmates have to gather up and find out who did the killing, because if they fail to find out who did the killing, then everyone is dead except for the murderer, and that murderer gets to escape the school themselves. So Danganronpa is, like I said, a graphic novel where you solve murder mysteries, where a lot of the gameplay comes in. You're picking up pieces of evidence, analyzing it. It's a lot of mental engagement there. The other element of Danganronpa that might be more familiar to gamers is the social link system it has, where during the times you're not investigating murder mysteries and furthering the story and living in Hope's Peak Academy, you get free time, and during this free time you can go around the school and spend time with these classmates, getting to know them better on a much more personal level. And these are some seriously engaging characters. What's heart-wrenching about this situation is some of these people you get close to murder each other, and they end up being dead sometimes, and you don't fully get to know more about them, which is the worst feeling in the world. Or finding out that a character that you were getting to know is someone completely different that has an alter ego that you had no idea about. And lastly, you're not just investigating these mysteries, gathering evidence, and calling whoever is guilty. You go into a class trial where you sit down and have to sift through evidence and gradually narrow down who exactly did the killing, and there's so many twists and turns in this game, it will have your head spinning. That is a simple breakdown of Danganronpa 1. It's about a 20 to 30 hour game depending on how much time you put in, and there's also a new game plus mode. So after you beat the game, you can go back and do little side quests to get to know these characters more and fill up their social ranks, or report cards as the game calls them. So it doesn't deprive you of getting to know them overall and you have to do it all specifically in one playthrough. You can come back later and get to know these characters fully. Once you're done with that, because I know you're gonna love the first one, there is a sequel called Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. It features a brand new protagonist tied into the Danganronpa universe, and I won't spoil this one because it does involve a lot of things that happened with the first Danganronpa. Instead of being trapped in a high school like Danganronpa 1, you were actually trapped on a tropical island in Danganronpa 2, and it's a fresh change of pace. There's a lot of differences in the gameplay in this game where you're exploring a vast island. There's so many rooms to go into and investigate. There's machines that you can buy stuff from. Obviously a new cast of characters to get to know, and they will eventually die at some point in time perhaps. Danganronpa 2 though is not more of the same. It is a true sequel, and in fact it was my game of the year in 2014. A lot of people joked on me about it, but I still stand to my gun that that was the best game I played that year, because it is just such a masterful sequel. And since people always like to use user reviews as a source of an argument, I figured I'd do that to prove to you guys that these games are really well received, and this is not just my personal opinion. Both games on Steam have received overwhelmingly positive reviews. On top of that, when you look at Metacritic, there really isn't a single bad review there about this game. Also, it does help that it scored well with the critics, so both fans and critics alike absolutely love this series. It's just a series that's not talked about enough. Hence why I'm making this video today, informing you guys why this series is so awesome. Why am I doing this? Just because I love video games, and I love when people talk about games that are unique, because I think that's a personal niche that people can get into and get involved in because they feel like they have a personal special experience with this game. This is a growing series. It has its own anime. The anime of Danganronpa 3 is actually launching just now. I'm not watching it because I believe the games are a million times better than the anime. The anime felt a little rushed and you really couldn't follow what exactly was going on in each episode if you didn't have the gaps filled in with the game itself. There's also a PS Vita spin-off. It's not available on Steam yet, where it's called Danganronpa Another Episode, Ultra Despair Girls. It's a third-person action game where you're doing a lot of puzzle solving, you're shooting little mini Monokumas. It's a decent spin-off. It's definitely not the best the series can offer, but it's more fun Danganronpa. It's a different take on the series. It shows that they're willing to experiment with it, but if you want the true ultimate experience, pardon the pun, then you will definitely play these games. I cannot recommend them enough, and I like making these types of videos because people appreciated that when I did that with KOTOR and explaining why I was so passionate about that, and I figured a game like Danganronpa is one that I'm so passionate about that I want people to play more, that I tell you guys about it today. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this series in the comments down below. Are you convinced? Are you going to try it out? If you do pick it up, let me know on Twitter at G27status. My Twitter link is in the description down below. I'd love to see how many of you guys are planning on picking it up. Just start off with the first Danganronpa, give it a shot. It takes a little bit warming up to. It's a little bit different from what you're going to be used to. I can promise you that much, but you will get into things. Danganronpa 2 is a bit of a slower start. It takes about 2 hours for things to really get rolling, while the first one gets rolling pretty fast and gets you introduced to things very quickly. It's a little overwhelming with all the characters at first, but those are really the only flaws I can note personally, but you get used to it right away. Other than that, I hope you guys once again enjoyed. Let me know what you're thinking on the series in the comments down below. I do have another game I'd love to show you guys as a part of this little mini video series. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know, because I hope this video does well so I can continue to show you guys new games that you probably haven't heard of, because I'm actually quite good at this. So I'm confident this video will do well, and I hope you guys enjoyed once again. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.